Welcome to Partnerships for Profit, the podcast where we bring you inside the world of joint ventures, strategic partnerships, and powerful collaborations. Whether you're looking to expand your network, find new referral partners, or scale your business, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
On this episode of Partnerships for Profit, we are joined by powerhouse trial attorney Lee Rudin, founder of Attorneys at Rudin Law. Known for his feature motto, "Stop being polite and get rude," Lee has built a reputation for standing up to insurance companies and corporate giants. Named to Louisiana's Rising Star list for 6 straight years, he brings an unmatched situation to the trial giants. The skills, the mission, he protects the underdog. He has a no-nonsense approach to winning cases. For building clients' law firm to training the next generation of trial lawyers. Lee is here to share some of the strategies and stories and the mindsets that fuels his success. Mr. Lee, how are you, sir?
I like it, man. You know, it's funny. When we logged in here, I felt like it was the Royal Rumble. I'm a wrestling fan. I didn't know who was going to be behind the curtain. I didn't know which host I was getting, so it's all a surprise. I love it.
One man, get rude, coming to you. I like it.
We're trying.
What brought you to owning? Obviously, having the last name Rudin, there was a little bit there, but what brought you to owning that? Because obviously that you don't think of that as being like your marketing scheme.
Yeah, it's funny. I was asked to speak at a conference coming up in October, so I've been playing with certain things like the backstory and how to tell it all. And I was thinking back, I vividly remember the first time somebody referenced my last name and the word rude. I was in first grade and I remember Mrs. Pavone telling me "You're being rude, Mr. Rudin." And I was like, oh, I guess those do go together that way. And then so I launched this law firm in June 1st, 2023. And I came out as a hybrid.
Yeah.
And as a hybrid, you can't really say fuck the insurance company while representing the insurance company.
Yeah, that's fair.
So my motto was put the work in. It had kind of a bent on the end of my last name. I figured with some graphics, I could italicize the in Rudin, and I could italicize the in and put the work in. I thought that was innocuous enough to straddle the line. And then I wound down my last insurance claims. I joked to my old client. I said, "You guys are too generous. I had to stop representing you and start suing you." And then as this is all percolating in my head, I started asking people. I'd say, "Dean, are you tired of getting pushed around by insurance companies?" And they'd look at me side-eyed and smile a little bit. And I'd say, "Because you got to stop being polite. Get rude." And then I'd get the wry smile or the chuckle or the nod. And I said, "I think this is going to work." Mm-hmm. And it helps because I like being blunt and honest and straightforward. You heard me drop a curse word in the first, 3 sentences out here?
Yeah.
And so the get rude idea isn't far from who I am anyway. It's not be rude, it's get rude.
Yep.
And so that fits. It certainly fits in the personal injury space and in the space where people are going to hire an advertising personal injury lawyer, which has its own stigma.
Yeah, sure.
So I said, you know what? It's easy. It's easy to remember, right? You can spell Rudin wrong. You'd be surprised, right? But you could spell it wrong. Double O's for the U. You get an E instead of an I at the end. But it's really hard to spell rude wrong.
My last name's West, and I've had people literally ask me to spell it for them. And I'm like,
right.
I can't.
Yeah.
Not going to do
Sorry.
it.
Yeah. You, me, and a compass. We got it. We got this.
We worked on that word long enough.
Yeah. But, and I joke, the idea for me is to idiot-proof the brand.
Yeah.
Right. So I own getrude.com. I bought an 800 number. Why I need an 800 number in this day and age, I don't know. But I was like, I should probably get that while I can because they're not easy to get.
Sure.
And I didn't realize why they're not easy to get. But then I started digging in. And rude is also the same numbers as sued. So anyone who wants to buy get sued, there's only so many of those. I was able to acquire one. I put a trademark down on Stop Being Polite and also on Get Rude. So I own the trademarks on those. Just, again, trying to acquire the pieces of intellectual property that make it really hard not to be able to find me.
Yeah. And you can clarify this because you started some gear for kids, right?
So gear for kids. I make gear. I joke that like the reason I started this law firm was to write off my coffee habit and make fun merch. Like that's what I
both.
So if you look over my shoulder right there, right? So that's a New York Mets logo, but instead of the Mets, it says, little small get, and the Mets is rude. And underneath it is a playoff of Hulkamania. It says Rudamania. The back says, what you going to do when we get rude with you? And it's got a silhouette of Hulk Hogan with Rude and Law on the headband. And the Mets shirt I created because I was going with a buddy of mine to see opening day of the Mets and the Astros in Houston. And I'm never going back because every time I go, the Mets lose. Wouldn't it be funny if I brought him a shirt? I'm wearing the shirt. I bring him a shirt. And I said, well, I can't just make one. I have to make one for every person I know in the country that's a Mets fan. So like my friends, my close friends, my family, their little kids, I made them all shirts. And then recently, I just took my kids for the first time to Citi Field. We were up in Jersey and New York visiting family, and they all have, like my niece, my nephew, my girls, all have shirts. So we got to take a picture at the game, like all in our Get Rude gear, which I thought was awesome.
That's great. Yeah, because if I remember, there was one where I saw it one place where it was like, be kind, get rude, right?
So my daughter goes to a public school here in New Orleans. Like my wife and I grew up public school kids. She goes to a school. And the motto is be kind. And my wife is always like, hey, do you want to sponsor the crawfish boil or the this thing or that thing? I'm like,
honey,
I'll sponsor all of it. No, I'll sponsor all of it. But they have to let me put be kind, get rude on whatever gear I can make.
Yeah. And like, to me, be rude, especially in the frame that you're using it, more in the tone of like, get strong, be ready.
Nailed it. You nailed it.
No one's obviously like going in the courtroom like,
Well, Dean, this is what I said, right? I was anticipating the pushback from the administration.
Sure.
And I said, wait a minute. Aren't we trying to raise tough kids, tough young girls, right? To stand up for what they believe in, to stand on their own 2 feet, like have a voice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is like stand up for yourself. There's books that are raise your hand, like do this, step out. Like that's what we want. We want people to, take that additional step, have the confidence to do it. That's what we're trying to do, especially trying to mold young people. So, I mean, if you frame it that way, how bad is it?
Let's just say there's a lot worse that goes on t-shirts. Like
I agree.
You're way left behind if you're trying to get to the top of that list.
And, it's funny. I thought I was going to get pushback again recently. I just sponsored my daughter's starting soccer for the first time this year. And they're like, oh, you want to sponsor? I'm like, sure. They're going to be called the Get Rude Girls. And like, I just designed the logo. I just submitted it. The people were like, oh, this is awesome. I'm like, great. Can I order one for myself, please?
Yeah, that's fantastic. I have a little 4-year-old, so a 5-year-old. So if you want to shoot me a shirt, she'll rep it. Like
well, I'll give you one of the ones I have, like all the merch over there. I got to see the smallest ones I got, and I'll send it over.
Because she has that attitude already. It might just be the one I get a lot, but she definitely has the attitude.
I have a 3 and a 6, and I know it quite well.
Oh yeah, you're right in the middle.
Oh yeah.
So give me this as you start to develop everything. Of course, if you go and search, you get all kinds of really cool, interesting content, whether that's from social to to ad space. What is it that dove you into like just creating stuff that was fun?
So this, like the generation of content is a major time commitment.
Yeah.
Right. It's important. So I think about content in 2 ways, right? I think of offensive content, meaning the stuff you're going to go out there to try to get eyeballs with.
Yep.
And then there's defensive content. And I don't know a lot of people that talk about it this way, but you have to have a website and a presence on social media that is just going to prevent people from thinking you're a ghost, a dinosaur, or an idiot.
Yeah.
Right. Those are like kind of the things. Now, the idiot part, you can have half the people hate you and hopefully the other half love you. So that's fine. I'm okay with that. But you don't want to have like the gray avatar of your face on LinkedIn. You don't want a website that's like totally antiquated and looks like it was built on Windows 94. Like you don't want that. And it doesn't take a lot just to be defensive. But on the other hand, like I'm a new business. I am in a competitive space. And we're not only competing for, potential new clients' eyeballs. You're just competing for eyeballs in general.
Yeah.
And on social media, we've become so trained. And even in the world, like how numb are we to all the things that go on around us? So what are you going to do to stop the scroll? In my mind, it's been like put on a funny costume. We got some stuff coming out soon that's like real in your face. Because again, it's a little abnormal in my industry to be the person doing it. I don't see, as long as you don't violate certain rules of ethics, like there's not really a prohibition against it. And the value in just being different. I said, if a client looks at me and says, that guy's pretty creative, like maybe he'll bring the creative solution to my case and not the same like tried and true bullshit that I get from everybody else. Like if that gets me a couple cases, I'll take that all day long.
Well, from going across and obviously being around the legal field a lot, I find that that's one of the things that makes everybody just kind of blend into the water. Like if there's nothing about you that feels ballsy enough to actually be confident and talk about whatever you want to talk about and be you, and it's just I'm very presentable lawyer, and for the right case, I get it. But on another level, I want someone that also stands out to me.
Yeah.
So all of that you're doing for me anyway makes you more personable, and it shows me personality within who you are. The get rude thing, if at first you were like, oh, I don't know if I want someone rude, but then you find your content, you're like, he's not rude, he's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, and this is the thing, Dean, like the bottom of the barrel should be that you're competent.
Right.
Yeah. Like why? I started doing it because I felt like maybe I had to. And then I was like, if they think that I'm not getting settlements for my clients or trial victories, like how do we have a business if I'm not also recovering for my clients?
Yeah.
Like everybody puts up their wins as if like not everybody's getting the wins. I don't know how you keep doing this if you don't get the wins, right? It's called cash flow. You kind of need it.
Yeah.
But I get it. I get why people do that. And everybody's got kind of their unique selling proposition. But I just feel like as a potential client, like it should be the check mark that you're competent and that you can actually bring a resolution. Now, the question is, what does that resolution look like for the client? Are they somebody, and I stress this to my team, like you got to talk to your clients, figure out what the best day for them is. Everyone wants the most money, but sometimes people are willing to take a little bit less because they want it sooner, or they want to get a little bit more and they're willing to ride it out, or they don't want to do certain things to treat the injuries. Like you got to talk to people and understand, what the pain points are to then help them navigate in what most likely is going to be a totally foreign space.
Yeah.
And, we're having this conversation. I love doing this and I like doing the social videos because I hope it presents me in a way that people understand, like we can have a real conversation and I can help you understand the pros and cons of what you're about to experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and if you look you up, one, yes, you find all the crazy, silly content, but you also find Louisiana's 6 straight years in a row of rising star. Like you're not doing something.
No, and look, I don't know if that could be a beauty contest. I'm going to say it's really important.
You're really pretty. So
I promise you I didn't pay for it. I know that.
You Boucher looking.
That's it. Rudy Boucher coming back at you. We're getting ready for Saints season. He'll be here.
Nice. Nice.
But no, I mean, there are, of course, like that's a great accolade to have. There's, just being in the industry this long, I've got a pretty varied experience base, which is cool. I think that there are a lot of folks like me that have switched over from the defense side to the plaintiff side. But I've also handled a lot of different kinds of cases, especially being on the defense side. So, I wasn't only a personal injury defense lawyer. I handled real estate work. I did employment. I've done construction. I've done all sorts of stuff. I've fought constitutional issues, insurance issues. So that wide range of experience allows me not only to provide legal advice, but I can also talk to you about some of the implications of these various issues that might touch on you in other ways.
Yeah.
And so I think that having that holistic experience allows me to be a more comprehensive advisor. And, I joke, sometimes you get your clients and they just want to bitch at you, not to you or about you, just at you. And I said, that's why they call us counselor, right? That's the part of it where you're like actually just listening.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's probably 80%.
Mm-hmm. People just want to be heard.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say? Like, so you were obviously on the other side for a long time. And yes, some people started saying, Oh, yeah, sure, I'd like to stick to the insurance company. But what was it? Was there anything inside you that made you start thinking about switching? Or was it just like, sure, this seems like a better gig?
Well, there's two things. There's the financial side of it where I laughed at one point. I'm like, this guy across the aisle from me is an idiot. Like he does not know what he's doing. He's gonna work. He's doing a terrible job here.
Yeah.
But he has us dead to rights, right? Like we rear-ended him. The person's hurt. Like he's got a great case, but he's not good at what he's doing. And I said, if these idiots are making the money, like I could be the idiot and do a way better job for people. So that's maybe it goes back to being like the dancing bear. Like I could see them, they're doing it. I can do it and I can do it way better. So that was part of it. But the other part of it, and this is more of a serious thing, is when you have the same exact case, right? But I represent the injured person and somebody else represents the insurance company. Our jobs are similar in the sense that we're looking at the injury. And I'm saying that the injury was caused by this incident. And if you're on the defense side, your job is literally to go find every single piece of nugget that you might be able to say caused this thing or contributed to this injury when maybe it didn't, but you're trying to create the chinks in the armor or the little holes in the boat and hope that you can get them to sink if you go to trial or get them to question whether there's a legitimate chance that they could hit the home run. And so maybe they should settle for the single or the double. That kind of sucks. Like to be in that position where you see someone, they're probably injured, you probably caused it, and yet your job is to diminish that. Like that's not a fun thing to do. And when you do it, like what do you get from your client? You get an attaboy, and you're the guy that just won the pie eating contest and here's more pie. Like fine, but it's not the same as being able to help a real person, present them with a nice check to help them like rehabilitate their lives and then put what was a terrible experience behind them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure just the simple hug from someone that actually appreciates it versus the little extra cash in your pocket.
You can't put a value on it and it's really hard to quantify in words, but the impact you can make on people that like really need your help is fantastic.
Yeah. And you're teaching now too, correct?
Yeah, I've actually been teaching. So one of my first mentors runs the National Institute for Trial Advocacy.
Okay.
He's been running their deposition and trial program here in New Orleans for decades. So for as long as I've been working for him, first I went through the program, then he kind of had me on to sprinkle in here and there, get my feet wet. I've done some other programs with or through him for other organizations like LSU and the American Bar Association when they've done some different things. But now I've been on his faculty. I feel like it's probably been a decade at this point, teaching other lawyers how to take depositions. And it's always funny because, I'm not an old guy in the space.
Yeah.
I'm older now, but I'm not old. And so like, I'll go to some of these events and I'll have peers of mine that are maybe younger lawyers or newer lawyers. And so it's my friends that I'm teaching like how to do the things because like they've never been through the program and I've been through it. And so it's fun. Yeah.
What do you think you've gained the most from being able to teach and just being on that side?
It's awesome because, one of the things that you don't realize is that like in trial practice, for example, if you're so lucky, you could try 3 to 4 cases a year.
Yeah.
Like think about that, how many days you're working and that's all you can do. And that's if you're really, really lucky. Some people maybe get one a year, maybe they get one every couple of years, but being able to go through these programs and like really you're honing your skills because you're watching, you're critiquing, you might be getting up and doing demos. You're just at least going through the mental exercises of what's it take to prep for a deposition, what's it take to prep a witness for trial or defend a witness at trial. Yeah. So doing that keeps your skills as sharp as they could be without actually being in the courtroom or, we do take a lot of depositions, so that's not the best example in that sense, but it never hurts to just keep tightening and refining.
Yeah. Do you see yourself continuing with that for forever pretty much?
Yeah, I love it. It's a great way to give back. I mean, it's become a little community amongst the faculty anyway. And, I just like being able to, again, we talked about my kids and like instilling confidence. You get a lot of lawyers that they don't get positive feedback in the places that they are, or maybe they're females or minorities in a white male dominated industry. Mm-hmm. And like, they just need to be told like, you're going to kick ass, like speak up for yourself And again, you can do this. And then they get the opportunity. And the reason the program is so great is it's a learn by doing program. So they get the opportunity to actually take the deposition, to actually examine the witness or give the opening statement. And we do, like for the trial program, we do video review. So like someone will film them, then we'll go outside and we'll break down the tape. Like if it was football, be like, okay, look how you were standing. Look at the way your hands are shaking or your feet are moving or you're swaying. That's going to distract a juror. You want to own your space and be controlled about what you're doing in your movements. Just like, the way you would block for acting.
Sure.
Get that feedback. So it's great. It's awesome.
That's great. Do you think that you are you going to ever do anything with Rudin Law to try to have your own little like classes that you teach underneath, or is it going to pretty much just be where you're teaching there and just keep that separate altogether?
I don't know. I think there's always I don't know that I would ever run a program like that, but there's always these opportunities to diversify your revenue streams, your ways to interact with different people. Look, your boss, right? Armando loves the podcasting angle. he and I have talked ad nauseum about me creating one, and I'm interested, and we just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
But there's all these opportunities to be in front of people, to build connections, and then, of course, to give back in a variety of different ways.
What do you think you're going to be doing the next 4 or 5 years? Or is anything going to be switched up with the law firm, or do you think you're just going to continue kind of in the space you're in and getting a little more creative?
Yeah, well, the space that I'm in is so hyper competitive that the questions are, how much are you going to stay local? Am I just going to be the New Orleans, Louisiana, Texas lawyer? Right? How much are you going to invest in just trying to dominate your individual market?
Yep.
How much do you want to spread out? So we're in this office space. We just bought a building in New Orleans proper that we're going to have a second office in. Probably the next move beyond that is to get a little office in Texas, because I have a lawyer there working with me in Texas. Mm-hmm. We're bringing on a guy next week who's licensed in New York and New Jersey and will soon be licensed in Louisiana. So, I'm from that area. So then we can formally run cases up there. Probably means we got to get a small office, maybe in North Jersey, Newark. It makes it easy to go to New York, come to North Jersey. So that seems to be a logical progression, East Coast, Gulf Coast. But if I want to market, depending upon what kind of cash infusion I want to make, will dictate how many markets do I want to grab clients in. And then we have a lot of partners throughout the country already, through teaching, through being in different consulting groups. I know lawyers in probably every major metro now, even in far off places. I got a guy now that I'm friendly with in Montana, places that you would be like, well, who's the lawyer there? Well, I got one now.
Yeah.
So that opens the doors to being able to help people everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. That's why we're in this business.
Right.
So why foreclose it if you don't have to?
That's fair. Do you want to give us a little taste of what's to come in your social media extravaganza?
Yeah. So we got something coming in the vein of Dr. Seuss.
All right.
We are bringing Rudy Boucher back to introduce the fans to Saints football season.
Fantastic.
That is kind of the fun content that I know is cut, edited, and ready to roll. And then we are launching some new advertising through Meta, so Instagram and Facebook, that we think is going to be real edgy and interesting. Not stuff you've seen before. Definitely not stuff you've seen here in Louisiana.
Yeah.
So we're hoping it'll be fun. Again, we're trying to stop the scroll, get some attention.
Yeah.
And then when they come to my page, come to my website, you realize, oh, he's a real lawyer and he knows what the fuck he's doing. So maybe we can hire
a real boy. Yeah.
He's a real boy. That's right.
All right. Well, before I close out, I'll give you our little quick 5 questions. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Courtroom battle, settlement table.
You may make me a pick.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's if you're the gladiator, you want to be in court, right? But part of the fun, right? Part of the fun is getting that check for your client. So I think you gotta be smart and pick the battles.
There you go.
Right? Put the
classic
client first.
Suit or the rude hoodie.
I'm a t-shirt and hoodie guy. I look good in a suit. I dress up nice. My closet is full of things I don't wear anymore. But come on, man. They got my Get Rude Taylor's version, right? In honor of the gal for the week.
We might have to get you a suit that actually just has it across the back.
I wore this to the Eras Tour in New Orleans. That's why I made it. I hand wrote this part underneath my Get Rude shirt with like a fancy looking blazer. And my wife and my sisters-in-law were all there. And I'm like, I got to wear a Taylor shirt too, but I got to wear a Get Rude shirt.
Yeah, you absolutely do. Morning coffee, late night grind.
How about late night coffee for the grind?
Wow. Paper
cold
filing.
Brew, always cold brew.
There you go. Why? You just always hot?
I'm not a hot coffee guy. Like I'm always drinking cold coffee. But let me give you this.
Yeah.
Did you know that drinking the hot coffee actually cools your body temperature down?
Mm-hmm.
Your body responds to the hot liquid, and it internally cools. So you think like drink that cold liquid. I'm sweating all day anyway. So what's the difference?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why am I sweating all day?
Yeah.
I'm one of those grass-fed butter people in your coffee.
Bulletproof.
Yeah, it wasn't bulletproof when I was doing it. It was just like my grandma done this and it was really good. So I kept doing it. And then it became like the whole, the bulletproof thing and the, keto and all this. And people are like,
should have branded it.
I never knew.
You blew it. You had a chance. Grandma led you astray.
Anyway, now I just
the Mista lady.
Now I just blend my grass-fed butter and enjoy. Last one, serious legal drama or over-the-top wrestling promo.
Over the top wrestling promo. Come on. I'm the general manager of Wildcat Sports. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I sponsor the Wildcat Sports independent pro wrestling promotion down here in New Orleans. And about 3-4 months in, they're like, Lee, our best referee is also our current general manager. And we really need him back as the referee. Do you want to be our general manager? And I was like, I thought you'd never ask.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. It's like a childhood dream come true. It's really fun. The guys
so does Rude get to sponsor everything?
I'm on the ring skirt. I go in the ring to introduce the matches. I do promos with them just to like set up the stage for future matches and future events. It's awesome. And anybody in New Orleans, if you want to come check it out, the next event September 6th. The big event of the year is November 22nd at the Hilario Center. I usually have a whole section. So if you want to come, hit me up. I will put you on my guest list. You'll have a seat. You get some free gear. It's a lot of fun.
Fantastic. That's great. You get better every 5 seconds.
Right.
Lee, where's the easiest place people to find you?
All right. GetRude.com, 833GetRude. Our Instagram handle, our TikTok handle, our YouTube is at GetRudeLaw. So check us out. We're not hard to find. And if you need something, if you need anything, give us a holler.
Or 833 Get Sued, whichever.
Get sued. Yeah, I mean, it all works the same, right? That's it.
Thank you for hanging out with me, man. Everybody else, like it, share, do the comment thing. And if you're looking to build a podcast, you know where to reach us. See you on the next one, guys.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Partnerships for Profit. We hope you've gained valuable insights on how to form profitable partnerships and take your business to the next level. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. Got a partnership story to share or someone you'd like to see featured on the show? Reach out to us. Until next time, keep building those partnerships for profit.